Hey guys, welcome to the Keep It at 99 podcast. Here with your host Isaiah and Mena. We have a special guest today,
Kevin Ghobrial.
Oh, he just says his name for himself, Mr. Kevin Ghobrial. We are currently, we are completely rebranded, and we
New logo,
everything to start the new chapter. Where now we are an audio and video podcast. So not only will you find us on YouTube, but you will find us on
Spotify,
Amazon Music,
Amazon
Spotify,
Music, Apple's podcast,
Apple Podcasts, Deezer,
and many more.
And a lot of other things. Not Samsung Podcast though, and not Google Podcast yet, but those should be coming soon. But anyways, so we're glad to continue to grow the podcast, and welcome to all the audio listeners now. Hopefully the audio quality is better than it has been in the past.
Definitely.
Even though we don't have a filmer for this episode, hopefully it's still good. Anyways, Kevin, I'm just gonna ask you a couple questions, even though I'm one that hates questions.
No, I don't hate them.
But I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. My first question is, what do you think? Like, what is a comfort zone to you?
A comfort zone to me is like just a place where you feel safe. A place where you can do everything very well and you can do everything very easily. So it's something that you don't have to really push yourself, like an activity or a place, or just a state of being where you don't have to like physically or mentally strain yourself.
Yeah, I agree with that. With that definition. I agree with that 100%. I feel like comfort zones to every single person is really different. Not just like what it is, but even the definition of it. Because some people, like, their comfort zone is like uncomfortable things. Like, I don't know if you've seen the YouTube channel Yes Theory. Have you guys watched Yes Theory?
I think I've heard of it before.
Okay, so Yes Theory is basically these two guys where they say yes to anything. Any challenge, they always say yes. And for them, I was watching another podcast that they had with Colin and Samir. Have you guys seen them?
Who?
Okay, so
What?
obviously
What's his name?
one of those 8 hours of YouTube.
What's his name?
He goes, Colin and Samir. It's like the name of their channel. All right. Anyways, they're basically two YouTubers that just interview other YouTubers for their podcast. That's what they do. That's
They
their
could
whole
probably
job.
interview us soon.
Interview us soon? I'm not sure about But they had the Yes Theory on their podcast, and the Yes Theory guys were saying like their comfort zone was being uncomfortable. And for them, like, to become uncomfortable, they had to go back to like normal life. Like, for them, normal life was uncomfortable because they were so used to like always traveling, always doing crazy things, And so for them, just having like settling down, like calming down, slowing things down, for them was the uncomfortable thing. And so I feel like,
Well, that would actually like make sense with the definition of a comfort zone, because if they do something to us that's uncomfortable a lot, then to them it's gonna be
comfortable. Yeah.
It's like if I were to go on a run every single day and make it part of my routine, of course it's gonna start off very uncomfortable, but after like a month or something, I'm gonna be very used to it.
Yeah.
So. And
that leads to like the whole point of this episode. What the comfort zone paradox is that the comfort zone paradox is basically that like you will never be able to leave your comfort zone. It is impossible to sustainably leave your comfort zone because you always have to change what you're doing in order to leave your comfort zone.
What if you leave it consistently?
Is that sustainable?
Not really.
You know how hard it's very hard to change your lifestyle every
day.
Yeah.
Unless you're like the Yes Theory, and then if you like what you're trying to say is like you're always doing uncomfortable stuff, so like,
nothing.
But it's not like you're gonna change your whole routine. You're gonna change one thing about it, and that's gonna make you uncomfortable.
Yeah, but like the point is that living an uncomfortable lifestyle in order to become more productive, because in your comfort zone, we'll put up a little. Actually, I really don't want to put up stuff. Audio people can't listen to that or can't see that. But basically, if you look up what like a comfort zone graphic, right? There's like a lot of circles, right? And the small circles, like your comfort zone. Right after that is like your optimal production zone, which is right out of your comfort zone. But like that's where like you're able to produce the most, to be the most efficient and stuff like that. And then it gets like.
And that's like the furthest from the comfort zone.
No, that's one step
right
outside.
After, right outside your
And then the
comfort zone.
step after that is like something else, and then it becomes like negative things as you get super far away.
Oh.
So like that range, like right outside your comfort zone, is where you want to be to be productive. And in order to do that, you have to always be changing stuff, and so that leads to like you will never be able to like hold that level of consistency in production, because you will never be able to be that uncomfortable, that level of uncomfortableness always.
That's kind of how like this entire world was kind of made. Every single like animal, from like the smallest like fish to like humans, we all have to, as like an entire like species, for like a species to let's say like something really bad happened to them and there's barely any people left, they have to do stuff in order to survive, in order to get better, in order to adapt to new environments, and for them to grow. For us, like let's say like space travel, we need to continually like, I don't know how to, we need to continually like
innovate like new
things. Like we need to like get out of our what we know, because we have a set knowledge of like we have a set knowledge as a human race. We have a set knowledge of how the universe works. But if we keep staying in this where we're at, if we just keep like going around what we already know, we're not going to get anywhere. We have to take a step right outside of it and try like experimenting with new things, like take a step into the unknown in order to like truly succeed, you know?
Yeah, and that's like how like knowledge is acquired, and I agree with that 100%. And the thing is that like if you take that principle and try to apply it to because being uncomfortable is not a bad, being uncomfortable is a good thing. Like always being comfortable is not a good thing, because there's no growth. There's no room for growth if you only surround yourself with what you're familiar with, right? And I've noticed like even like in this podcast, like you've changed a lot since the beginning. I mean, right now you haven't said a word of this episode, but like
because I'm thinking about everything you guys are saying.
But like I remember like the first 3 episodes, you didn't say a word.
One episode.
No, the first episode it was just us two.
not
One
the
episode you
first
fell
episode.
asleep.
Yeah, that's the one where I did.
Yeah, the
The
third
other
one-
3 you just didn't talk.
The third one he fell asleep.
No,
that was
the
Minahanda's.
second one.
Minahanda's was the third one he fell asleep.
Third?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like the first 2 episodes,
Oh.
I mean, you said maybe 10 words combined.
No, the one with George I talked.
10 words combined.
No.
But now, I mean, now if you look at, I don't know, maybe you look at the one before the last one. You talked a lot.
Why not the last one?
Because I just don't remember if you talked a lot or not. But the one before the last one, the one with Jacob.
Yeah.
You spoke a lot. You know, you made a lot of good points too. You got out of your comfort zone. So
now
far,
I have to get out this comfort zone and not talk anymore. So
Nah, I think
how it works.
I think you're
we're
still
trying to
getting
be
used to this.
we're trying to be smart now. No, but like this podcast obviously has opened up like a lot of opportunities for both of us to like really explore outside of our comfort zones and really like figure out like where our growth is. And I feel like I've learned a lot. I don't know if you have, but hopefully you have. So I'm asking you a question now.
Yeah, okay.
Since we got Kevin
I love
talking, now I
questions.
gotta get you talking.
What is it?
What do you think is the number one thing that you have done to change like your comfort zone of like not talking to be able to be, at least what I can tell, comfortable talking on the podcast?
The podcast. Just talking on it.
Just talking on it?
Yeah, and also like our relationship, me and you. Because at the
Yeah.
beginning it was like kind of awkward, like us two, that's it. But now since we have like a close relationship as friends, and and we progressed through the podcast and talked and like grew from that, I think that's what helped me talk more and
No,
go
yeah,
out of my comfort zone.
that would make sense. I mean, even what you said, like just being in the podcast let you like grow more and be able to come more social, to be able to talk, because you were kind of essentially forced to adapt, you know?
Yeah.
You're kind of like just being with Isaiah all the time. He kind of basically like
You have
pressured you
to.
into making you talk. You know? So like eventually, like I don't know how many videos you guys have posted, but or
This is
recorded.
number
11.
no, this is
12.
12. Number
Yeah,
12.
doing it 12 times, you're gonna get used to it. You know?
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not. So.
No, and Yeah, I agree 100% with that. And I also think part of the thing that like allowed us to get out of our comfort zone was going on the monastery trip.
Oh yeah,
All three of us
most
went on that.
definitely.
I mean that was that was different.
Even the people that were forced to go, they like
Yeah.
You know,
they
we need to do that again.
We
at-
definitely
this
do.
summer
at
we
Minahana.
have to.
And I know you're watching this because you follow us on Spotify.
And
so
Abuna, please.
so please.
All of us will be so down to go.
Part
really
two.
wanna
Part
go.
two.
No, but I remember this was right at the beginning of our podcast too. This was like the next week.
Yeah, this was like the second episode.
The second episode, yeah, was on our way there. Like we filmed our first episode, the next week we left, and like, so I think those two things combined have really like, even for me personally, have like changed like how I view, like the vision of like where this podcast is gonna go, like and all those things. And I feel like for me, like the one thing that was very uncomfortable was like planning and writing stuff down.
Yeah,
Was actually writing it down, not just having it all in my head.
on a calendar.
Yeah, actually like put it down on the calendar, say like, this time, this day we have this episode with this person talking about this topic.
Sometimes it's inaccurate though.
Well, because there's changes. Changes always happen, but it's good to still have like a plan.
Yeah.
It's
But
always
then
good
you're
to
gonna
have
have
a
to get
plan.
out your comfort zone and keep remembering it.
Yeah, I mean, I always remember stuff, but it's writing it down for everyone else, not just for me.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's not really
A good thing
Yeah,
to-
good to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And like that's one of those cases. Like you don't need to, like if it's already something good, he's writing down what he needs to say. You don't need to purposely get out of there just for the sake of
Yeah.
getting out of your
Yeah.
comfort zone.
Yeah, no, I mean, the reason why you get out of your comfort zone is for growth purposes. So you find places where you need growth and you change something about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So if you're already good with one thing that you're doing, you don't need to like have growth in
I mean,
that.
no, you always have growth in everything, but you find the things that you're weakest in because you're only as strong as like, your weakest part. So you always find like where do I struggle the most? And you take that and that's where you like grow the most. I mean, at least that's
No, here I'm just thinking about something else. Here, let me keep talking.
I mean, that's for like me personally, that's like what I do.
And
And
I
I
think
feel
that's
like
just like for everyone. You have to grow.
Yeah, you have to grow
on
somehow.
Your weakest
Yeah.
part.
No, yeah, I completely agree with that. But for some people, like let's say a person, his comfort zone is already his perfect life, I know that's like a very like rare case, but there's some people who just enjoy working from home. They enjoy the comfort of having like, always having a meal.
Yeah.
Always, like always having a bed to sleep on, always having like just everything
Just
they
the
know.
basic
Yeah, they know
things.
is gonna happen. There's no like uncertainty in their life, and they have this like starting a business. They wouldn't want to do that because they wouldn't have the satisfaction or the comfort of always getting a check.
Yeah.
So there's some people who don't want to get out of their comfort zone, and they're just fine with not being as successful as they could because they don't want to take that risk.
So here's the thing, right? When you talk about comfort zones, right? There's things that you can change that will change permanently, and some things that'll change temporarily. So I feel like some of those temporarily things are like trips you can go on, like trips to the monastery or a mission trip, things like that that make you think from a different perspective, and that's like the type of growth that you can have by forcing you not to like stay in your comfort zone of your life, your stable life at home, with the bed to sleep on, with running water all the time. Like I also went on a mission trip before my freshman year of high school. Like that completely changed how I look at almost everything in this world. Because just having that different perspective, going out of your comfort. And I really did not want to go on that trip.
Really?
Like I
You
really.
were forced to, or?
I was forced to. I was really dreading going, and I went, and I didn't want to leave. Like, it's stuff like that because like it changes like how you think about certain things, and there's just the experience you can't put into words really, and so there's certain experiences, and like for example, like a very common thing people do when they want to get out of their comfort zone is like skydiving. That's something that happens for what?
No, I could never.
That's what, like 4 hours of your life or something like that.
Yeah,
So it's those things that like the part of getting out of your comfort zone is forcing your brain to think, forcing your brain to work. Because if you're always in your routine, you're not really like thinking, not really working. But when you push yourself a little bit, you allow for growth. You allow for different things.
No, I completely agree. I have a question for you.
Go for it.
Ooh.
So do you think getting out of your comfort zone causes more or less anxiety?
Oh, it causes more.
Way more.
The definition of it causes more, just from the sheer definition of the word. Because even, for example, Munna, who is deathly scared of bugs and deathly scared of heights and deathly scared of the dark and deathly scared of every single thing.
Not the dark.
That you can.
Not the
You're
dark.
you're not scared of the dark?
Really?
Nope.
Really?
All right.
Sure, but we'll say bugs and heights.
And the dark?
Okay.
You're scared of almost everything is the point. And for someone like him, right, where like he's scared of like a lot of things, in order for him to like fight his fears and like get out of his comfort zone, he's going to be anxious. If I put him on top of a skyscraper and tell him to look down, he's going to be pooping his pants.
Yeah, but then,
Fair enough.
so what if he keeps, so the only way to conquer your fears is to face them, right?
Face them, 100%, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I believe, at least.
So and the only way to face your fears is to get out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
Well, mostly the only way is to face your fears to get out of your comfort zone. So if you get out of your comfort zone and conquer your fear, like let's say Mina, he goes around tall buildings all the time, and now he's not scared of heights anymore.
What if I'm scared of low ground?
I don't think
Go
anyone
around
is.
the low ground a lot.
I don't
You
think
get-
anyone is scared of
Okay,
walking on
yeah,
the
sorry,
floor.
So if you just keep, exposing yourself to what you're scared of, in other words, getting out of your comfort zone, then wouldn't you have less anxiety in the long run?
Yes. So here's the thing about expanding your comfort zone is that when you get out of your comfort zone, you're expanding it. You're making it larger. And the thing is that there comes to a point to where you make it so big that some of the things that were like originally part of your comfort zone aren't really as comfortable with you anymore. And it's okay to feel uncomfortable, but there's also times where you have to feel comfortable. There's times where you have to, just go home and just sit down and just,
Right, yeah.
yeah, for one that's take a 7-hour nap every single day, stuff like that. Every single person needs some sort of, like chill, like comfort zone like environment. But that it's not like you always, because if you're always coming out of your comfort zone, like we said earlier with the yes theory, that becomes your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And you don't know how to stop. You don't know how to slow down. You don't know how to, and so the thing about the comfort zone is that like there's a balance, right? Like everything in life, we've said this on, I'm pretty sure, the past 10 episodes, everything in life is a balance. There's always a balance. There's always, you can't go to the extremes. There's always a moderation. So like you can't always be in your comfort zone. You can't always not be. You always
Too
have to.
much of it is a bad thing.
But you're 19 hours on your phone a day. Well, no, that has to change. You have to change something about it. So you go out of your comfort zone. You put your phone away. You get outside. You go on a run.
Yeah.
You get outside, go play some basketball, and don't break your finger this time. And you do these things in order to like change your mindset and change your perspective.
I see. So back to the question though, getting out of your comfort zone, does it cause like a more well-being, like a mental state?
I'm gonna ask you that.
No, you can't do that.
All right,
Okay,
we'll ask
give me back
one
the
of them. When have you ever gotten out of your comfort zone?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel better after getting out of your comfort zone?
After it, definitely, yeah.
Not during it, obviously. During it, something
during
else.
it is it's a fear, but after I feel relieved.
Yeah, because it's kind of like you feel like there's like a weight off your shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or you feel like you've progressed somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So we're gonna move on past the comfort zone topic,
Mm.
and and we're gonna talk about something else, Kevin. So Kevin, if you had to explain like your life in one word, what would it be?
that's a really big.
In one word.
Wow.
That's not complex.
I'm not gonna say complex. So.
Simple.
All right, while he's thinking about that,
Okay.
one, let's hear yours.
I gotta think of mine. What have I
Well,
used?
yeah.
Y'all
what's
just
yours?
all right, my life in one word at this moment right now is
Sad.
hectic. It's crazy. You know how busy, like you don't realize like how busy you are until like you sit down and you realize how busy you are. But then at the same time you realize like you could be a lot less busy if you wasted a lot less time.
Mm.
No,
That's where I am right now. And I feel like that goes back to like
Comfort zone.
That's a lot to do with the comfort zone. Is I'm so used to wasting time, spending hours upon hours upon hours on YouTube. One that spends more than me though.
Let's see your,
It's not my phone. I watch YouTube on my laptop. I'm too smart for that. and my phone's up there too.
Guess so.
Yeah, but I feel like the amount of just time that I waste, you know, like it's terrible.
No.
It's terrible.
Time wasting, I feel like sometimes I know I have a lot of work to do at home, so I purposely don't do other stuff so I can go home and do work. But then when I go home, I feel like I have like 6 hours to get just one thing done. Then I end up wasting 6 hours instead of getting that one.
Exactly.
That's an extreme case, but like.
No, but I see what you're saying.
And then sometimes like I have like an hour to get like 3 hours, 3 hours of work done.
Off, bro.
And I get it all done in an hour because I'm working so diligently because I know.
Anything to do.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. It's not something I purposely do. It just sometimes I work a lot more diligently than other times, and those times, most of the times, I'm saying time like 1,000 times. I'm just saying, the times where I
sit down, actually do your work is very rare.
Is when I feel like there's no way I'm gonna finish all this, and I just end up doing it, and I feel like overwhelmed, and I end up finishing it. Other than the times where I feel underwhelmed and I don't finish
Never finish it.
It's kind of
it's weird.
Yeah.
No, I agree 100%. And I remember the last school year, I think there was 2 times, the whole I'll say semester. I don't remember the first semester, but second semester, there were 2 times in the spring semester where I went home and did not watch YouTube as the first thing I did, and I actually did my homework, and I finished at 5:36, when normally I'm sitting there till 11:30, 12, 1, and that is I promise is a direct correlation to time wasting. And it's not even I feel like even if you don't waste a lot of time, it depends what order you do things in. If you get home and you watch YouTube for 30 minutes, only 30 minutes, the work that takes 2 hours is going to take you 4.
No, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Because
even if you've done watching it, you're put the distraction away, it's still
you just want to watch more.
It's not that. It just takes long. You feel sluggish.
No, what I do, it's any time I get on my phone, even I start off without YouTube and I just start my work. If I get on my phone and get on Snapchat, my work's instantly. It goes downhill. It just keeps going downhill from there, and it gets progressively longer to finish my work every single time I get on my phone or do something. So what I do, I just put my phone away and I try finishing it, even though that works 1 out of 10 times I don't get my phone. But
isn't that uncomfortable though? Putting your phone away.
It's and you would think it's comfortable because it's not. it's not something that really. It's hard to do, just don't get on your phone, but
no, it's impossible.
Yeah, but it's so hard to stay to just build up all that focus and just get your work done. And then even sometimes I have so much work that even if I don't get on my phone at all, if I finish the work, I'm just gonna go to sleep and I won't get on my phone. But it's just so hard to build up all that focus and all that mental
toughness.
Yeah, to not get distracted or give your mind a rest. And that's why getting out of your comfort zone is a good thing. Because if you always get out of your comfort zone and you always build the habit of
pushing your brain, straining your mind,
to read for 2 hours, or pushing yourself to focus and learn a subject in one day or something like that. If you focus as hard as you can, then your mind's just going to get used to that, and your mind's going to be better for it, So.
Yeah. No, and I mean, there's obviously ways to study, right? Studying straight for 6 hours is more hurtful than it is beneficial. But if you do 30 minutes on, 5 minutes off, 30. But the issue is don't go on your phone.
Yeah.
Because going on your phone isn't a break. It's not a mental break. It's more work than what you're doing.
It strains your mind, but it makes you think that you're taking a break.
Yeah.
So sometimes I want to rest, and then I get on my bed and I just stay on my phone, and then I get out of my bed and I feel like I haven't rested, even if it's been 30 minutes. I feel like my body is still as tired as it was 30
or
minutes
even
ago.
more tired.
And then you start procrastinating. I'm gonna rest
Then
for
I'm just
5
more
more
sluggish,
minutes.
and then you want to go back to sleep,
Yeah.
and then it's just harder.
But you put your phone away for those 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You feel
If,
new.
if I sleep for those 30 minutes, I wake up, I feel like completely different. Or even if I like do something, like if I go work out for 30 minutes instead of sleeping, I would feel better.
Not even
though-
that. You just go downstairs, talk to your mom a little bit, get a cup of water.
You know,
You feel fine.
taking a snack break, even though it could lead to bad habits, but I found that it helps a lot.
Not necessarily eating. You have to eat. You just go get water.
Yeah,
Go,
me,
talk.
For me at least, I got into a really bad habit of always at like 9:30 getting a big plate of oatmeal just cause it's like I don't know.
No, I
I'm
feel
always
you.
hungry at 9:30.
Every single week after Tasbah, we go and get Waffle House.
With
But before we used to go to Waffle House, I used to go to like Burger King, like Taco Bell, bro. It was the worst because like you're not supposed to eat a Whopper or a Impossible Whopper, whatever it was. At 11 p.m.
Dude, it's bad.
That's terrible.
Sometimes I'm like starving before Tasbah, dude, and
Yeah,
I just go and
dude.
get like whatever food I can.
I promise. I'm telling you, bro. Tasbah like messes my stomach up because it's like your brain is so not used to being that active at like 9 p.m. Like the level of activity that's going on.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
If you read and sing and
Yeah, your brain's like working. It's working like a double shift. It's like you're playing a whole sport. And I also hated I used to hate having really late practices because you have really late practices. You get home and you just eat. It's like 10:30, 11. Like it's terrible.
After late practices, I eat.
Yeah, I mean,
I either like it depends how I feel after. To be
dude,
honest.
I eat before and after, man. Like
Before and after?
Dude, I didn't realize how much I used to eat, bro. I used to eat
for
much.
7:00 soccer games, dude. I would leave school at like 3:30, get a big meal. Then after the game, I would eat the biggest meal, dude, and it would just be so unhealthy. And before the game, I would eat like a protein shake or something. I don't know.
No, what I would do is I would go home, eat a meal, go to pregame, eat a meal, and then after the game, eat a meal. That's 3 meals and like after 3:30 p.m. So I had lunch as well. I don't eat breakfast, but I had lunch.
Yes.
That's 4 meals in a day, and 3 of them are like within 6 hours of each other. Like it's so bad.
Dude, how we get on the topic of eating?
I don't know, man. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the podcast where the topic is supposed to be at your comfort zone, and then we talk
But now it's about eating
how much we eat.
at 9:30.
Yeah.
But again, that's a comfort zone thing. You think about it.
But it's bad.
You
a
eat-
bad comfort zone.
Actually,
It
it's
is
not
bad.
that bad because I like sometimes I need that break because like
Maybe,
during that break I like focus. So sometimes I watch YouTube, but it's like kind of refreshing.
But eating when you're bored is bad. That's what I'm trying to say.
Eating when you're bored is a
Eating when
bad
you're bored is
habit.
bad, yeah.
And I feel like habits in your comfort zone are very, very connected.
Yeah.
I mean, it is because habits
what is a
habits
habit?
are your
Yeah.
comfort zone.
A habit, something
Something you're comfortable
Something
doing.
in your comfort zone.
Yeah. And so I feel like for a lot of people, like, eating when you're bored, which, okay, for me now, like with this sling thing, right? Like I get home and I don't move basically because I'm like hooked up to an ice machine. Like it's just too much stuff to be like moving around for.
Can you move
So-
around with the ice machine, or is it just like a?
I mean, it's like a thing so it's like a padding that like goes around my arm.
Oh.
And there's like a tube that goes to like a little ice machine thingy.
Oh.
And it pumps
So
like
you can't
ice
move
water.
with it.
No. It's like carried around with me, but it's plugged into the wall. Can't really do that.
Portable charger.
Portable charger. That'd be funny. So like now, like I eat. I don't do anything but eat. Like what else am I gonna do? I eat, watch YouTube, SAT practice on Khan Academy.
But
That's
you go
about
on
it.
walks.
I go on walks. Yeah, that's for
good.
PE though. I go on walks once a day. But like, that's the thing is like, what else do you do?
No,
Like, a lot of people's comfort zone is boredom, and boredom is so bad. I hate being bored. Is like the worst. It's not only
being
is it
bored is
torture.
actually one of the best things to be. I know it's very contradictory. I know.
So Kevin is Isaac Newton, and he wants to create calculus when he's bored. But
being
like,
bored leads to
Great ideas.
curiosity.
Yeah, and sometimes curiosity, when you have the internet at your
what
hands, is terrible.
Yeah, that's true. But what is being bored?
But when you just have an apple in a tree, curiosity
all
is
right,
fun.
we get it. Isaac Newton. Okay, we get it.
Being bored is like the lack of activity.
Yeah, it's the lack of like fulfillment in what you're doing, or like it's you as a person aren't like happy or aren't satisfied of what you're doing. I don't know how to explain it better, but if you're bored and you just embrace being bored, then you can start like actually thinking, you know. You can start, I know like I don't
You can like learn new tasks.
yeah, being bored leads you to like wonder.
But that's if you.
It leads you to just stop and like think, you know?
That's if you fill your boredom with the right things.
Yeah.
Because if you're just not filling your boredom with the right things,
There's many things. That's why
keep it PG. But like, you know, with the not right things, it's terrible.
Yeah, but then you're not really bored anymore once you do that. Because like,
That's true.
once you get on your phone, then are you really bored after that? You're like doing stuff and you're not necessarily bored.
Yeah.
You
Well, if
can
you're
be on
scrolling through TikTok, I mean, I don't know. You guys can tell me. What do you think?
I don't have TikTok.
Are you bored when you scroll through TikTok? Like you were over here a few minutes ago?
It does get boring. I mean, you're just scrolling and scrolling. For
So here's the thing. Why do you use TikTok so much?
entertainment. That's the same thing as saying,
When I-
why do you?
But
When I
why
used
do you
to- when I
entertain
used to have
yourself if you're not,
TikTok-
if it makes you more bored?
Yeah, when I used to have TikTok, I would find myself just like right when I opened my
Aimlessly?
phone, my fingers would like go to TikTok, dude. It was bad. And then when I didn't have TikTok, when I like deleted it for like a whole week, I would like go on my phone, and I would feel like
go to the same spot.
yeah, I would like go to the same spot. I'm like, oh wait, there's nowhere, and I would feel like my phone has nothing else anywhere, and it was so bad.
Yeah, so I did this thing, right, where during Holy Week, I switched Snapchat and Coptic Reader.
Oh,
I switched the icons for them. It's like where they were on my
so
phone.
you'd always go to
And I would always just like click on Coptic Reader. And now I find myself clicking on YouTube Studio every time I open my phone to see like how many views the podcast
it's
is at.
just-
And it's depressing because like, you know,
Because our
well,
analytics.
our analytics are depressing right now. And I open it like, you know, it tells you like first use after pickups. YouTube Studio is like my number one by like not even close. It's like 100 more times than any other app. And so I'm thinking about switching it. Which app do you think I should switch it with?
I don't know.
On my home screen. The Bible app?
I don't. Honestly, yeah. Why
Oh
not?
God, please give us more views. I'm telling you, I'm reading the Bible now. Now give me more views. No, but like, it goes back to the whole comfort zone thing. You're just comfortable going to TikTok, just comfortable sitting there scrolling your life away.
No, what I find is stuff like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Whenever I'm on it, I feel more anxious. I don't know why, but whenever I'm on YouTube and I'm scrolling and I can't find like a video to watch or I can't find something to like satisfy me,
You're just not subscribed to the right channels.
no, I get like, I don't know, I get like kind of anxious. I don't know why.
I get what you
but
mean, yeah.
It just makes me, like uncomfortable, kind of just like to not find like a video fast enough or to not find something to watch or to not. I know you're lying.
Listen, I didn't say anything. I did not say anything. When is the one laughing over here? It's not me.
Oh yeah, I'm laughing.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No,
Kevin.
but I get
continue.
what, sorry about that.
Okay, all right.
Did you get what he was saying?
No, I was zoned out.
He didn't get the joke.
I was trying to put my leg in a right angle. You see that?
There is no way you've been sat here. This is why he doesn't talk on the podcast. By the way, he has like ADHD. He like can't focus.
I think he's just scared of what people looking at him.
Yeah,
Are
I'm
you
scared.
He's scared.
Alright, this is gonna wrap up the video, guys. Make sure you go on Spotify, listen to our podcast.
Oh, we're actually wrapping it up. I thought you were joking.
No, I'm serious.
Do
you wanna wrap it
want
up?
to be here? We were having a big conversation about
Oh,
comfort
sorry.
zones.
Okay,
About not finding the right video.
Alright, finding the right videos
so
on YouTube.
We're gonna wrap up the video, guys. Make sure to go listen to the podcast on Spotify, Amazon Music, Amazon Podcast, something
Amazon
like
Music.
that. Apple Podcasts, and we'll see you next time.